trying to indicate this particular thing in the context of larger issues between developed and developing countries. We are about 2000, and by the time you get to 2050, the whole world will be about 9.3 billion or 930 crores. We are about 6 billion by 2000, around 610 crores. The blue is all the developing countries where we are all sitting, and that's the red one is all the developed countries. Interestingly, you will find that the developed countries are going to shrink in population. They're going to come down from 120 crores down to 110 crores. Their family size are shrinking. No negative growth happening in most of the particular rich countries over there, whereas all of us, the poorer sector on the developing country, is going to increase from 4.9 billion to 8.2 billion, which means 820 crores is going to be. This is where the problem is, going to increase from the small level to a big level. They don't need any particular development because already have done, they are rich, they have got all the money available. So you've got to find out the type of resources that's required to deal with this type of housing or water or sanitation or jobs or roads or hospitals or schools or whatever. All these are required as part of the development needs in a very large way. And India is also coming up into a very large way. But this we are also amazingly going, the demographic push is phenomenally large in a large way. Just only about 100 crores in 2001 we were, and by 2011 we are already 121 crores. We added 20 crores in about 10 years time period. 20 crores or 200 million added in 10 years, and we are going to be ending at 14. I just saw today morning the population of India. Would you like to make a guess? What is it today morning? Just make a search. We are already 138 million. We are talking Savaso 125 crores issue was a good component for 2011, and we are going to be somewhere around 1,400 million ending or 140 crores worth of. That means you're adding 40 crores of population in just 2 years, 20 years time period. 40 crores of population getting added in 20 years time period. America has 1.5 times over America getting added over there. America with all its money have done only around 32 crores or around 320 million population. See, what I'm trying to say is that the size is humongous. The needs are phenomenal. And this is exactly where, and the urbanization trend is also going in a large way. We are 28% urbanization in 2001, 2011 we are 33%, and we're going to be about 40% urbanization by the time the whole census comes over there. So it's a phenomenal amount of need, adding around 40 odd crores in 2 decades time period, and also natural calamity and related issue as a major concern area. Some of those details already have indicated, going to be likely to about 60 crores urban only in 2030. So this means a lot of money to be put, adding a 2 crores per year. You have to put a lot of buildings, you have to put infrastructure. Building alone is not enough. You have to put the water line, the sewer line, the road line, the power line. All infrastructure also has to come along with all the building. The housing has a building, office complex has a building, hospital has a building, school has a building. All will have to get added on, and not just the housing component alone in this particular segment. Biggest contribution is growth engine, 70% of GDP, giving new jobs. Housing and service in the urban context is important, and therefore there are also centers of productivity and social advancement. And somebody has very rightly put over there, I just tried to put what were about 5 cities which are more than million plus. We are going to be 70 by the turn of the century, and that particular 3 will become about 6, rightly brought out by Ashok in that particular presentation. Look out for all those growth. Chennai will go up, Bangalore will go up, Hyderabad will get into those particular 10 million. Your large number of other cities which are growing. I entirely agree with Ashok in his particular presentation. The growth rate is phenomenally high in these particular zones, and that's going to be already 55 it has come as on now. There will be 70 which will be more than 10 lakhs plus. But look out, you got equally important component of around 200 cities which are all municipal corporations which are over 5 lakhs and plus. 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs is also a very major component. So leaving out the 70 odd cities which are more than 10 lakhs plus or a million plus city, and you got to also concentrate into those particular cities which are 500 plus cities which are over 1 lakh plus over there. That's all where all the Amrut cities are there. The Atal Mission for Reforms and Urban Transformation, or 1 lakh plus population, and that to 1 lakh to 5 lakhs common, about 200 more than 5 lakhs. You got to have a lot of growth opportunities coming in this particular area. Housing is the topic, therefore I'm not leaving out all the other component there. We are aware of all this type of figures which are available. So we need to build of the order from 2010 to 2030 around 40 million odd houses. Slum, the other bottom of the city is very, very important. And therefore, the type of money required if you want to do housing for all the category, it will be of this order, which is roughly about $2 trillion. Now, this is just India's snapshot. 20 million urban houses and 30 million rural houses coming. But out of that 20 million component, only around roughly about 11 to 12 million is being taken up by Government of India under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana or PMAY, which is for the housing for the EWS, LIG and the lower middle income category. But then the housing for the country is not just that alone. So you provide all the other component also incorporated here. And therefore, as always, I have been telling this often, I don't agree to this 95% of all the housing for India is only EWS and LA. I don't agree with that particular one, because all the housing where the finance is going is all the MIG and the HIG housing, and maybe a little amount for the low income housing. If you talk about the 20 lakh crores of money which Monu has rightly brought out today in the presentation there, how much of that percentage of 20 lakh crores of money has gone for the EWS? We have got to figure exactly 85% of the 20 lakh crores money that has gone by all housing financing institutions, all the banks put together, has all gone for the middle income and high income housing. It is only a balanced amount that has gone for the EWS and LIG. Okay, so I got this great data available in India of 10% of the housing, or one house for the HIG, 2 houses will be for the middle income, 3 houses for the weakest side, low income, and 4 houses for the weakest. That's 10. So if you are 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%. So making 9 and 1, which is where saying that everything put over there, India's housing needs, for example, this room that is sitting over there. Nobody is in EWS or LIG here. I'm sure each one of us also would like to have a home to be done. And all the houses which are done by the developers, by the government, by all agencies put together, covers not all of them but the 400 square feet house alone. I know you require a predominant amount of requirement for that particular component there, but then most important component that even this is a very big number. 3 plus 4, 7 out of the 10 houses where no concentrated effort has ever gone in at the governmental level or any other level. Here's a major opportunity where you have brought in about 11 million houses to be done for the requirement of the weaker section and the low income category into a very large way. And that's important. And that's where whether you're going to these slides are very important. A luxury housing of 200 to 300 for a high income, 100 to 160 square meter for premium housing that also can be affordable, or the real affordable of the LIG about 50 to 80 square meter, and a social housing coming of 30 to 40 square meter coming in this category, where the CLSS come. The credit link subsidy scheme from the government is also dovetailed along with the component of the interest subvention coming into the scheme over there, and therefore that's a very major component also coming in the housing segment. Now, a lot of interesting things come under the smart cities, also a very major component where housing will be coming in the 100 smart cities. You'll also be doing for the 500 Amrit cities, a lot of development coming. There also a lot of additional housing will come. About, I told you, 500 cities will come under those particular level. There are a lot of, I personally feel that that's going to be a very critical area where lot of housing is going to come. It's not just a Hyderabad or a Visakhapatnam or Vijayawada. Yeah, large number of other cities where housing thrust is going to come into a very large way. And real estate component itself, if you see real estate developers putting all their money into everything, over 60% is going into the housing segment. It's only the balance on commercial, IT parks, recreation, all the hospitality, entertainment, hotel and retail coming. So housing is going to be a distinct component even in them, but it'll be good for some of those good developers to have a good mix of all this coming, and don't put all the thing only in a pure housing basket alone, because you've got a lot of viability coming in these areas of mixed group coming, as well as some of those particular things on, you can do all subsidization, cross subsidization can also come if you're able to link with some of the other projects as well in this area. Material and components already available to everybody, information on that, but this I'm giving only because where you can optimize. I like the presentation which was done by Supra. They have gone in a very minute detail of where exactly you can start saving. So once you know these are the costs, where you can find the saving component has got to be identified from this particular segment over there. So how much will go for roofing, how much will go for flooring, woodwork, finishes, external finishes, water supply, sanitary work, electrification, foundation, brickwork, superstructure, brickwork. So therefore, you can really attack on this particular thing, and that's exactly what Supra has done. hats off to the excellent initiative that he has tried to go element by element. How can you really bring down? Cost reduction is very, very important. We don't want low cost housing, which is a very bad word according to me, and that will mean low quality, only for the poor. It can be ugly, it can be durable, it may not last. What we want is cost effective housing which is strong, durable, functional, aesthetic, and not an inferior option, but as good as any other option. So therefore, what you're doing down over the Supra is a super product, and therefore that's the type of initiative that we need to take it forward, and they're exactly gone item by item for each of those particular things, how you can work cost effective and not low cost housing in a large way. Another major area, disaster, and I'm very happy that it was already brought out in Monu's presentation. It's a very major problem and very difficult to build houses for the poor and low income. Once in a lifetime they are doing that, and once you do that particular thing, it has got to stand the test of time. You see all those problems that you had of earthquake damages, be it on the Uttarkashi or Gujarat or Jabalpur or anywhere, all the floods, your cyclone, Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, etc., etc. So it has got to be also flood protected, cyclone resistant, earthquake resistant, landslide protected. So very necessary the disaster mitigation or a structural issue. You got to make that particular building to stand the test of time. So whole country is divided into various geoclimatological zones on seismic zones, wind zones, landslide zones, flood zones, etc. You got to make your buildings also stronger because you can't give an inferior option, and more so. Those buildings are all a 15-year loan or 22 years loan. We don't want the building to fall the 10th year. At least beyond, it should go into at least a 50-year lifespan or whatever. At least 22 years repayment period is there. House should have at least the minimum life of that particular durability of that. And according to me, it should be of the order of around 50 years time period. It should be the minimum type of life that we should put, because I don't live in the house my father built, nor is my son going to leave the house which I built over there. So it also requires a generational link on how many years that family will live in that small little studio house or whatever. There'll be one group will come over there. Maybe you know what I'm trying to say. When family size grows over there, then housing choices also will be changing into a very large way. So you got to take that particular component in a large way. All these are all covered in a very large way in all components in the National Building Code of India, where all these issues on structural safety, health safety, fire safety, construction safety, electric safety, environment, life and public safety are all covered. And what is interesting is that this document, which is the latest version, is the first one which is content, because Mono really put that Sustainable Development Goal 17 for Sustainable SDG to the year 2030 was put over there. India is the first country to bring the chapter on National Building Code on approach sustainability. Many may not be aware here. Since you're dealing with climate bonds, I thought, Neha, you should know that Part 11 of the National Building Code is the only building code in the world where all the sustainability elements are included as part of the building code into a very large way. Not only that, the new part number 12 is equally important because it also talks of building performance, assets and facility management. Building, we complete. By the time you complete, get an occupancy certificate, all gone. Architect gone, builder gone, everybody gone. Then I have to take care of this as a person living in the house. You know what I'm trying to say? So how will it happen 5 years later, 10 years later, 20 years later, 30 years? What will happen to that? Is it performing well? So therefore, your important issue of maintenance and related issue comes from the lift to work, your water supply to work, your plumbing to work, your systems of solar power or whatever. So to ensure that particular thing, you got the new chapter which said, don't think of the capital cost which is lower, but think of a 10 to 20, 30, 40 years time. Life cycle costing component has come there. Capital cost plus operating cost or maintenance cost together. So would you like to give a finish which can last for a longer period, or no very poor one which will last only for 1 year? So you got to take a decision on all your materials on walling or various timber, doors, whatever you take that, how many years it's going to stand. And that also to break it down, structural item, non-structural item, finishing item, service item, because each will have different lives. Your service will not have the same life because you change it 10 years, 15 years, lights or fans or plumbing system or pipes or wash basin. These things will go away. But the finishes based on the flooring, etc., will all little more time. But the structural system has to last for a much longer time. So the lives of these things also will undergo in a different way. So these chapters will bring phenomenal amount of useful input on how to deal with the design based on life cycle costing. That's part of the building code. Normally we don't bother about that. We just do present cost kya hai. We don't worry what will happen to maintain that particular building. So select those specifications in your particular housing product, because very rarely can the individuals who buy the home from a builder can continue to maintain that. Especially if it's an apartment, it's not an individual decision, it's going to be a collective decision of 100 people together or 16 people together, depending upon, or your 20 people together, whatever. They may not be able to do that particular funding to take care of the continuous maintenance related issues. So we have to take that also as an important component. Now, technologies are different on that. There are so many things which Anil was brought on cost-effective technologies, the latest technologies which are there, and we got an excellent thing for Supra. What are things you are doing as a conventional, and you said a Supra option, whatever. So conventional technologies and cost-effective technologies, if you do, these are the conventional options which are coming over there. What are the new cost-effective technology options by which you bring down the cost of construction, at the same time not sacrificing any of the functional or performance characteristics? Very important. There's a big list of that particular thing. It can be a topic which can be discussed maybe for the whole day, but obviously I'm not going into that particular area. So which can be vernacular system using local materials, or conventional system using the what we think we can do in the present way, or industrialized system on factory made products. Today I went and saw a major or alternative system. So each one of the technologies will have its own particular option on that. So it depends upon, from a small town, village to a medium town, when you go into a big city like Hyderabad, how much of those traditional components we can have, how much will be technological component using steel, cement, brick, concrete. This is where we are. We are all only able to do the right side of the brain and not the left side of the brain. Okay, we don't want to get into this particular area. So therefore we got to have a combination coming of some traditional options, some technological options. Can be 100% purely technological on steel, cement, bricks, concrete, or can you do some other using vernacular? Can be a good combination of adopting what I call intermediate, cost-effective and disaster-resistant technologies. Very sustainable. That's what is really making it affordable. So maybe if I put this could be around 400 rupees a square feet, this could be of the order of around, say, this center could be around 700 rupees square feet, 800, 900. By the time you go to the end of that particular component, it will be about 2000 rupees a square feet. So again, technology cost of construction will again be depending upon how much about the materials and technology options we are using. There are clear-cut solutions on each one, and I like some of those presentations, Ashok's presentation today, wherein he has really brought out this particular aspect into great details into large. And cost is going up. Construction cost is going up year on year. Cement bag, steel bar, your aggregate, fine aggregate, not the onion price. So all these things are going. So onion price will be at the wholesale price index going up, or the average income might be marginally going up here. But interestingly, construction costs increase at 50% more than inflation. If your inflation for your country, for your city is going to be off the order of 4%, 5% inflation, or 6% inflation, your construction cost goes up by 9% annually. Because steel, cement, brick, tile, all the 275 building materials that goes into the component are not included. I repeat, not included the wholesale price index or consumer price index. They are not included. So based on what we have, I kept a track on how many years. So you got to really see if affordability is marginally increased, salaries of people are increasing marginally, cost of construction going still larger. So gap between cost and the affordability is widening in a large way. So it's a bigger challenge. Architects, engineers, builders and real estate builders find it very difficult. Therefore, how do you give a product at a cost which you can afford? Like he said, sense of pride. No advertisement, I filled it, but people come because it's still within their affordability range. So affordability becomes an important component when you deal with the housing in a large way. So you got to really work on that. Steel, land price going up, cement price going up, plywood, accepting all of the prices have gone up. Labor cost is phenomenal component. Construction is still going up higher. So how do you deal with that? Not only we thought the problem was only EWS, even a middle income housing has become very difficult. To have a middle income housing going for 1 crore, 1.5 crores, come on, whether it's Bombay or Delhi, anywhere. That's not an affordable home under any sense of imagination. If your average income is only around 1 lakh to 1.5 lakhs per month, or maybe around 12 to 12 lakhs to around 18 lakhs per year, You can't get into a housing product which is costing around 1 crore and 1.5 crores, but that's the only product available. So you got to have a lot of options to bring into this particular area. So we've got technologies by which strong, durable, functional, each word has a meaning. Aesthetic, environment friendly, ecologically appropriate, energy efficient, affordable and adaptable, cost effective and appropriate technology for construction. So it's easy to put it, but that's where I like the way in which the presentation came. Some of those options can be there, and I like Ashok's latest one of those particular technology by which you can make it also the construction, the walling material, which can bring in substantial amount of saving here. Lot of things are there. The new technology options which are there, I don't want to go into the list there. There are a lot of problem. Aggregate is a very major problem there. You don't get sand for construction. Even the coarse aggregate is a very major problem. So what are the solutions coming in these particular area also becomes an important component. Prefab is also catching up slowly. I was today morning from 7:30 to 9 o'clock visiting a project with about 28 stories building in Hyderabad, which are all made entirely, all your products of your columns, your beams, your slabs, your staircase, everything is precast, prefabricated, just coming from a 550 kilometers away, and they are completing at one floor in 15 days. Each one of the 28 stories has come over there in less than a bit of the order of around less than 12 months time period. So that will also catch up. I'm not fully for it because it's also energy consuming, because anything that you produce is a lot of equipments, machineries, because construction also a way by which a lot of employment is generated. So I'm also not for the high-rise component, I'm for the low-rise, high-density component of development, which will give the best solutions, the big dot, the medium dot and small dot. Ashok said, therefore from all points of view, when you look at that, it will be between the absolute low-rise and the medium rise. We got to put our pinch on that, and that's where the whole development will come into a very large way. Funding is another major component. A lot of interest. I'm happy to get Neha to come into it, bring in some more direction. We require equity, debt, construction-related inflows, working capital, interest saving, and we require funding at two levels. One is developer level for them to put the construction finance, and the other one is required at the level of the home loan individual level into the retail finance. I also, when you just went out for a minute, I did say how even the 20 lakh crores worth of money that is for all the housing finance institution and all the banks that are put into the particular thing. I just given to pay 85% of the money, 85%, or if it's 86%, that money has gone only for the middle income housing and high income housing, and only a balance component gone for the EWS and LIG. And that's where the biggest, and therefore I salute you for the type of money that you have put across to the large number of people that you have indicated there. It's a very major contribution to, I call it the down marketing of credit for the poor. It's very difficult. Not easy to do it because they don't have, most of the particular people, again, as one of the interesting components I liked in that particular, most of them don't have regular jobs. But so they can have a monthly this thing, what is the EMI coming, to show a proof that I have so much amount of money available. It's not easy to do that. So you got to assess that. Each one of your youngsters, men and women who are dealing with those individual 70,000, 80,000 people to whom you have reached out, you got to make an assessment what should be their income. Because they are informal sector, they are not the formal sector type of jobs over there. So therefore, you won't have because they are in that sector, they don't have land in their name, and therefore you don't have a mortgageable particular thing. But still, some of them starting your work, it's not very easy to get into this particular level. So that money is an important thing. But I'm glad I use the long-term home loans. For example, one area, even if you get the bonds, Neha, your biggest problem is going to be all bonds are 5-year bonds, 7-year bond. India has never got any bonds which are more than 10 years. Whereas you have to lend it for a long period. Let's say IAFL uses the bond to get one of the resources other than deposits or whatever. Then your asset liability mismatch between short-term borrowing and long-term lending. So you got to, again, because you got to give back money to the depositors for the bond market on that. So you got to really see how exactly you're going to deal with that particular. Bond is a good instrument, especially for city level infrastructure or some other related one. And even agencies can also take that. But you require access to long-term funds. And one of my pet topic is that just like US has solved the problem. Other thing is, of course, we have briefly discussed how GST has come down. It's already come down to a very large way now. Now, from the last figure, as I said, the latest one is the Prime Minister has announced just about 4 months back that the affordable housing has come down from 8% to 1% GST. And other housing has come from 12% to 5%. It's a very major component. Some of the products which you said, whether that can be completely off the GST, like new innovative products. Ashok said, we can make a case, the right time, because budget is going to come in February. This is the right time to push all those innovative ideas which can have maybe zero GST to come on those particular input costs. We can find out those particular areas. Stamp duty and registration charge is another area. Many of the states who are dealing with a lot of social costs there, they are stopped. No stamp duty required, no registration charge if it is a house up to 400 square feet. Kerala is a good example of where no registration, no stamp duty for registration. It's a very important document. And one good thing is that all the new documents for home loans under the PMAY has to be the joint name of both men and women, the partner of the home there. It was not like that, and therefore that will be an area where registration of the document becomes an important component, and what type of costs can be reduced in that particular area is also important in this particular one. Now, a lot of related issues that I don't want to talk about these particular things on that. Our way in which we do the work through the contract documents, the way we do that, the type of training required for masons and ensuring good quality of doing a 20 house is one thing, but to do 200 houses is different. Do a 2000 house, you're scaling it up. You're going to get through contracting system. You're going to get the trained workers are not available. Mason, carpenter, bartender, plumber, electrician, all those skilled trades. We have a terrible skill shortage or deficit in this particular area because quality at the end of the day depends upon all these particular things put together. Another thing I told about the maintenance and other related issues, a good building which is there in Part 12 of the National Building Code where assets and facility management added, you got to take into account the cost of the life cycle costing and the type of requirement to keep the building up. Just like our own body, what do you do? The exercises that we do over there, nature of food that day on day to our skin or bones or whatever, we do that. Like same thing is happening in the building. If you don't do the investment of the order of roughly 1% to 1.5% of the capital cost of the building has got to be necessarily put into the housing, maintenance and related component. That's why what they put is, they have put over there a 40-year is the type of depreciation level for building to be done. I hope you all know that at 2.5% depreciation each year, 40 years is the life that's put for the building to write off. You know what I'm trying to say? So, but I'm talking in terms of at the level of 1% level, if not 2.5%, has got to be put in this particular segment. Now, if you do all this particular thing, the company good quality will come, good health issue comes, good safety consideration will come, then you will be able to really get good amount of project coming where commitment from all the team will be available in that. But according to me, that's not enough. I talked about all the safety. Now this is the most important thing. Structural safety, health safety, fire safety, public safety, all the construction safety is not enough. So you have to go beyond the safety concerns, and that is where environmental issue, ecological issue, energy consumption issue, quality of life and sustainable development becomes an important. And this actually leads us to what you call the green path. The green, we did not talk of green at all. All we talked of housing, affordability, cost of construction was the only thing that's put over there. And therefore, this component comes in over there. And that's where I like Supra's presentation and Ashok directly telling that you combined all that. You combine those concerns which normally were at the level of only the safety and other related thing, but also the concerns of the green agenda on water, on energy, and you incorporate that particular thing in a very large way. And let us really go into this particular path in that. What do we do in that? That's where Indian Green Building Council, which we started in 2001, we have come a long way for sustainable built environment for all. We are part of the World Green Building Council. Around 80 odd countries are there part of that, and we are contributing in a very rich way in this particular segment. And we just started with one building about which mention was made by Amor. You people should visit that depending on time and away, because since all of you are from Hyderabad, if not today evening or today afternoon, our team members are all there. They'll be very happy to take you to show you the interesting initiative which is done over there. We have come a long way of that one building of 20,000 square feet. Today when I'm talking, I'm very happy and proud as an Indian that we achieved 7 billion square feet. That's 700 crore square feet. 700 crore square feet of green footprint has come with over 5,400 odd projects all over the country over there, and that's a very major achievement. We are number 2 in the world, and very shortly by 2022, 3 years from now, when India becomes 75 years of independence, we'll be 10 billion square feet or 1,000 crore square feet of green footprint. That's the type of work we are working on. We have 25 rating system available. If you see commercial, all your commercial buildings over there. Residential, we got 3 rating system available. I'll talk about that a little later, but I'll get on. All your metro stations are a major one. The built environment is for the campus, cities. We are the first one who gone beyond green buildings to green cities, because all your rating is a green building, a building to be rated. So you can, oh, that building is platinum, this building is gold. That means on a whole street you might have one building. A whole city might have maybe around 20 buildings, 50 buildings, 60 buildings. But imagine buildings to the built environment. So that means you go into a green campus, you go into a existing city, you go into township, you get into all these areas. So it's a built environment comes in large way. Or schools, hospitals, industrial buildings, well-being, the ratings are there, and also metro. So therefore, we are interested in this particular area. So we have 25 rating system, unlike most of the other rating system which are like USGBC, LEED or Terry Graha, where the same one rating of vanilla rating, they'll use the same thing for a commercial complex like an office, guzzling energy, they'll put the same thing for a school, they'll put the same thing for a hospital. We don't do that. We do separately depending on each use of the building has got different levels of consumption of energy, water, and all components. Therefore, depending on that segment of that rating system has been done, and that's a distinct feature why IGBC is separate. That's why today when I'm talking in front of you, we have 92.8% market slice of all the green building rating in the country. We are the first one we started, and more than around 12 years back, we started the first rating system with a version 1. See, you can see the rating over there, how we have the versions we have kept on. And this is the one for the green home rating. Normally, it's for the high income, middle income housing. Little on the low income was coming in that level. But then we got on to the next one, those who missed the bus. Residential society. I did not go for green at that point of time, but I know it's needed. I also want to save energy, I also want to save water, I want to have best waste management coming. But my architect or my builder, developer did not use that. Can I go green now? Yes, the answer is yes. So therefore, we brought in the second rating for IGBC Green Residential Society rating system, why you upgrade better water, better sanitation, better sewerage, better energy, whatever retrofitting you can do into the building to make that into green. And that's a time when the new government came, and a big thrust on housing came into a large way of looking for needs of affordable housing. So we are the first one to therefore bring in a separate green rating system for affordable housing. Affordable housing, those houses are 400 square feet, 300 to 400 square feet, around 600 to 700 square feet, which normally is what the affordable housing with the CLSS credit link subsidy scheme, interest subvention scheme, all are coming over there. So we've got a separate rating. That means that the green building rate is not for the rich and the affluent, is equally good for the poor and the low income. Even their house has to be sustainable in a large way. And I'm happy he showed 435 square feet house, less than about 40 square meter house, how can make it green. So therefore, it's a matter of attitude. If you want to set your right thing on it, and this became extremely popular now. Very, very popular. All the 3 rating systems together has contributed to the home rating sector alone over there. And we are the only one who has gotten we are the first one to get into the home rating system itself in a large way. Individual homes, multi-dwellings, and high-rise building. It can cover all the categories of the particular component over there. I didn't want to make a mention. My colleague said he did not want to make a mention. You will be very happy to know, even one of the best names in the thing is Virat Kohli, our captain over there. You know something? He's got a platinum green homes, individual home he has built over there. Very concerned. Energy saving, water saving, waste management efficiency to be green over. He said, don't publicize that particular thing. I'm not doing that. But just to make a mention, even it can go at that level, including all your wonderful slides that you showed in the beginning, all those different people, a farmer, a tailor, or a carpenter, or a different socio-economic class, reduce water consumption, like very rightly Supra was trying to say, if you are using 135, I was very shocked to find that somebody wants to use 160 LPCD for water. Why should you do that? Our idea is to bring it down to as low as 95, because if you're going to do water saving, if you're going to have all your flushing water, everybody goes 5 times to toilet. You go and flush 12 liters of water goes down. 12 into 5, 60 liters only going for using toilet individually. You own that. If all that water, is not drinkable quality, I can use as he beautifully brought out in that last but one slide of Anil, you can use a complete water to be recycled, and the recycled water can be put for complete flushing requirement. You're saving straight away 60 out of the 135 liters of water. So therefore, and of course low flow fixtures, that itself is a detailed topic by itself. How can you do the water aquifer recharging, rainwater harvesting, wastewater recycling, using low flow fixtures? There are so many things that come in. Supra tried to put some of those particular components. Ashok put in on the larger level what can be done at the layout and the group of housing level. That's very major component. Energy saving, very clear. How much can you bring down? How much can you bring down through passive design? I'm very impressed. I'm very, very happy. Therefore, at least 5 slides were there. How just by doing architects doing the right passive design on your solar path, east-west, north-south orientation, not trying to heat don't get the heat into the building, bring the light in. Don't bring the glare into the building with all that glass there. You don't need all that particular one. How do you use the right technology for walling which can save, which he said, instead of using a big autoclaved AAC blocks by bringing how much is the energy cost coming on. Not only at the manufacturing level, that is equally at the level of the energy consumption level. So therefore this will be a combination. If you want energy saving, how do you achieve? I put it conservatively at a lower level. If you put a commercial complex, IT complex project, that would go up to 40, 45. But residential level, that's the amount is a big thing. But even then it's big. The air conditioners that you use over there, if you use a washing machine there, if you use a refrigerator there, the microwave there, each one of them are star rated products, so the energy consumption level will come down besides all the other ones. Like he went into each one switch, power switch, all the geyser, whatever, using the energy, etc. Green residential society, very popular one, transforming existing residential to better one. Apartment complex, minimum 25 dwelling units, gated communities, residential colony, quarters, townships, many PWDs, CPWD, railways. Their existing one built around 20 years back, 30 years back, it anyway requires sprucing up. They said there's a good opportunity to spruce up, also make it green into a very large way. Or Residential Welfare Association, roughly 66 projects, 23.2 million square feet are grown green under this particular one. And unique societies are user-friendly, children-friendly, play recreation space, green housekeeping products, including cleaning up of the thing, water monitoring, water meter coming per dwelling unit, etc. are very important. Green affordable housing, the latest one, we have put a requirement that less than 650 will come under this particular thing in this rating one. 70% of dwelling unit in a project with the carpet area so much, around 29 million square feet are grown green under this particular area. Here again, lot of interesting things. What are all the new components, even the poor man's houses you can do over there. These are very easy to do it. Alternate material, alternate technology, efficient envelope, design which showed, shading device we talked about how you don't get the heat into the particular thing, basic facilities for construction, parking facilities, if you need cross ventilation system, daylighting, fresh ventilation. These are the basic things. I have put some of those things which also Ashok's presentation brought out many things over there, and we have to combine both these things in a very large way. And then what I have done is, I try to put with no extra cost at all. I don't want to put 1 rupee extra in the name of green. Can I do it? Yes, the answer is yes. You can do many small things which can do with only no extra cost at all. Some of the details are already identified here. Then I put what can I do as a marginal cost improvement. I am going to do maybe if I am doing say around 800 rupees a square feet. I don't mind putting another 10% more, 880 rupees a square feet or something like that. If I do that, what will happen? So can you do that? What are all the things that you can? Because normally you don't require water efficient fixtures. You can put that. Most of the you may not put, but now many building bylaws require anything beyond a certain size. You have to have rainwater harvesting, aquifer recharging, wastewater recycling. ये तो करना ही है. As per regulation करना ही है. You got to do that. That's the way the green regulations are coming as part of the norms in the many building rules, etc. So therefore, you put a little extra cost into. But what is interesting is that little extra cost, the saving that you get in energy cost, water cost, less than 6 months to 1 year's time is the payback period. That little capital cost that you put over there now, with the cost on saving on energy, on water, waste management treatment, etc., less than about 6 months to 1 year. Of that order, would that be a good picture? 6 months to a year would be the right figure, payback period? Less than 1 year. Okay, so that's good. That's a good amount of component which is coming on that. Now, we are just trying to indicate as a result of that, of the green building, we have done about 8.7 billion units of kWh per annum. This would mean the energy supply for 1.75 crores villages. We have roughly about 6.7 crores of villages in the country. The energy for all those things can be saved in that particular one. You require on the water saving, 26.7 billion. I told 30 to 40% on all the houses there. That will be more than 1 month's water requirement for Hyderabad. Sir, you said so much about a water problem here, you're not able to get water over there, etc. The saving that you can, if you can put that, that will be the type of saving that will be coming on the water related component. Composting, another related one on the waste management, 3 lakh tons of organic waste reduction. That's 3 months organic waste generated in Bangalore, generating about 7,000 tons per month. So you can understand the type of saving that's come into this particular segment equally. So also, how much is the thing on construction demolition waste? Very, very major component. Very major where will you take this particular thing? So you have the complete annual capacity of Devana dumping yard is a type of 2.5 million tons of annum C&D waste saving that can come into this particular area. And how much is the most renewable energy? Renewable energy was a very important component. 100% renewable energy which he has done over there. Now that's a very major area. This is where I entirely agree with Ashok fully, because when you go taller than a 4-storied to roughly maybe around 15 stories and to a 30 stories, the space available at the top of the roof is going lesser and lesser. Your renewable energy count, he is able to 100% because he has done a 4-storied building. You know what I'm trying to say? So otherwise you require solar photovoltaic bank, separate banks. Many people do that. Big developers put banks of that order. Like for the Cochin International Airport, there are 29 megawatt of the SPV bank. Many people do 1 megawatt solar power, not on the roof, but they put there. Many people on the windows, photovoltaic integrated windows. I hope you are aware that you can put, instead of buying and putting on top of that the PV bank, you can also put integrated along as part of your windows. Israel has done it fully. Integrated photovoltaic has done along with your glass window. Those particular things are already put along with that, and that also solves the other problem of not getting the heat in, but that already converted that into energy into a large way, and that itself will be the whole of Uttarakhand's RE is coming out of this particular megawatt that we have generated as part of this particular component there. Most important is you are certified. They are certified. Ma'am, you should be very happy. This is a certified picture of carbon footprint reduction. 8.1 million tons per annum is equivalent to 9.1 million cars off the road. That's the type of carbon footprint reduction that has come as a result of the green initiative come in this particular segment over there. Well, we have a lot of chapters to do work, and more important is, since I'm discussing with the housing leading builders over there, we have wonderful relations with CREDAI, wonderful relations with National Real Estate Development Council, Builders Association of India, so that under their wings all those particular people can do. But I do agree there's a small little talk going on. CREDAI and all takes care of only the big builders. They may not take the medium builders, small builders, but we have reached out to see how, and I salute you for getting not those big and the medium, but the small builders you have brought in over there. It's not easy to get them. But first of all, thank you for all your attendance coming over there. But you have an opportunity also to get into that. As I said to you, we got a special package to deal with the small builders also to come in this particular one. These are all the rating system that we have done, and we are very happy with the MOU that has been signed with all these real estate developers into a very large way. Some of those things on orientation which you talked about, the project Cochin, which has got extremely solid one, and that's Bangalore by Chandrasekhar Hariharan's good related work which has been done in the homes. Just a slice of that. Shading devices, he talked about that the Pune housing or Tata Inora IGBC gold rating one. On-site renewable energy is very, very important, and I was happy he also put those roof in a large way in a project in Mumbai, another project in Pune, into which the green homes come over there. Design for differently abled is an important component because you have to make it user friendly, and all those features have to be incorporated into your building, be it on access ways or ramps or related component, including on the lifts, etc., where the braille related one or the other related one. And sustainability for residential building means everything, whether it's going to be a Noida project or a Bangalore project or a Kolkata project, Gurgaon project, or it's going to be a project in Abu Road or Bangalore. And what is happening as a result of all these particular things, many of the states are ready to give incentives. So government of Punjab has done for the whole, Rajasthan has done, Uttar Pradesh has done. They are ready to give additional incentives. You are done well, they're making part of the green building regulation there. If you make a platinum, I'll give 15% extra built-up area. I'll give 10% additional if you make a gold. I give 7.5% additional if I go for this. But state like Andhra Pradesh and Telangana are the first one which Ashok mentioned. They don't have FAR regulations at all. But you have to show it's platinum. It's not, otherwise many people go for rating, advertisement banane ke liye, marketing banane ke liye, but actually when they build that certification stage comes, they don't entirely put all that. So therefore what you said you will do, are you doing it? But then the construction starts, that's pre-certified. Then you get the certification coming only when the building is completed. Proof of the pudding is in the eating. So at that time you should see, have you really done what you said you claim on that? That's where the certification comes. And each certification has a value for a 3-year time period on that, beyond which you require recertification to, only because whether you've done it or not. Because this is already going in the market that easy to get a rating and no way. Just like Crystal rating, ICRA rating, commercial papers also has got a time period after which they continuously keep a watch on that. You can downgrade it or upgrade that. We also got a lot of cases of upgrading, and I'm very happy to share with you, out of the 4,500 projects, about 1,800 plus are also certified projects, completed in all way and performance being watched over there. And I'm very happy to tell you that in most of the cases, the performance is always higher than what they claim they will do it in the project report. I'm sure I'm putting the right picture. Okay, thank you. There are 5 of them sitting because they keep a watch on this particular thing. And these governments, this is a very major thing. That means they're recognizing green building as an important component. Green building regulation has come in as part of your development control rules, building regulation. This position has come. If you do this, I'll give this incentive, etc., etc. This is a very major strength for all of us. Equally important is, of course, your own interesting work on reimbursement for IGBC certification costs, rebate on project financing to developers, rebate on retail financing, and I very briefly touched, and IFL requests to be congratulated for the good initiative you are doing along with the National Housing Bank and various other institutions. It can be KFW, it can be AFD, it can be so many people over there. So this is just a slide to indicate that going green is also receiving support from the financial institution in a very large way when they are coming over. So why do you think Monu has done this big job, spending so much amount of money to get all of us together? It is indeed, if we go green by itself will be good for you. It's a win-win for you. But in addition to that, with the financing institutions coming in a large way, and they will also be able to give financial incentives coming into it in a very big way. And therefore, I want to salute for that initiative that you have done in this particular one. A good quote that you got from Amari Lowen's latest book on natural capitalism. I don't know how many you have read. A green home creates delight when entered, serenity and health when occupied, and regret when you depart from the house. So that shows when you get into those particular green home, what all type of benefit. It is not just a little energy saving. See the overall quality of life inside those particular home, into the light, into the ventilation, in terms of the comfort levels, the space designs, etc., etc., the green all round, all those particular things. Some of them, Ashok captured that particular thing, and therefore Amari already has covered this particular in a large way. We'll do that. One of my own projects there, it will also cover a good comparison. This for the Hiranandanis, I have done that when I was there for 12 years time period. We have the low rise also coming, then we have the mid rise coming at the back, then the high rise also coming. And I'm entirely in agreement with what you said over there. And we have exactly proved that. So therefore, there's a big differential coming on that. Our differential is proved there. Just for information, if the cost for the low rise building to go green is less than even 0.1%, 0.08 to be exact, 0.08%. When we had the green building movement somewhere in 2001, additional cost for making a green building was 18% for the first building here. But now things have come to such a level, especially residential building has never gone more than even less than 1% in any case if you go for the bigger house, namely 2,000 square feet, etc. Because then you get into larger system, then you go into taller building, then you got the lift costs, those costs, etc., etc. will come. But other component will be very easily of the order of 0.2% to 0.3%. And we ourselves done this based on actual example done over there. And this all is the gold, IGBC gold rated particular building, but it covers all the one. But if I am to ask to put again where my answer, I'll always go from the low rise to the medium rise. That's where the answer is, because at the end of the day, the CAM charges, common area maintenance charges for all it's going very, very high, around 2,000 rupees per month, 3,000 rupees per month, 4,000 rupees a month. Some cases it's coming pretty close to the EMI for the house itself. So we can't afford to do that particular component there. You got to find therefore the right level of balance when you put any of those particular things. I'm very happy to hear lift installation is doing with solar power. Too good. I wish you success in that particular thing. then we can do smart, safe, sustainable and green built environment, and affordability is the most important component that. The last word is let's lead to building the nation proudly. Each one of you join in the big movement of the green path. On that positive note, say thank you very much for the opportunity given.